Russ Moore. Who's hot? Who's not?
What's up? How's it going?
It is hot out.
Hot, muggy, sticky. So.
It's still summer. It's technically summer still.
All right. Summer is hot, so let's talk about who's hot and who's not.
Summer's hot. You wanted to put me on the not hot list because I picked the wrong winner of the U.S. Open last week.
You did? I don't know about that, but I know that I picked the right winner. It was right on the clip here. I said that
Yes.
Sloane Stephens, the underdog, was going to prevail. She did, and you were there to see it.
I was. It was a great match. Well, I'd say great. I did feel bad for Madison Keys. She had so many unforced errors. But I'd never been to Flushing Meadows. It was fantastic. Have you been before?
No, I have not. It's on that bucket list, though.
Well, definitely
Maybe
go
next year.
sometime. It's definitely hot. So who else is hot here? Downtown lawyer Max Wistow.
Absolutely. Max Wistow, as you reported, has been pegged to conduct an investigation into the bankruptcy of the St. Joseph's Pension Fund, and it'll be interesting to see what he can uncover. If there's anyone that's right for the job, it'd certainly be him. After all, he did recover tens of millions of dollars in the 38 Studios civil lawsuit that he prosecuted. So I think he's the right guy for the job. He's a really aggressive lawyer, so I think that he gives the best shot for some justice to be done for those pensioners.
If you got the chance to see today in GoLocal, after reaching out to the Catholic Church repeatedly, they made statements in their own publication, the diocesan paper, in which they said that they are praying for the retirees. They are placing the blame squarely on charter care.
Ooh.
I think there's going to be a lot of finger pointing continuing to go on, and we'll see Max Wistow, what he's able to accomplish.
I don't know if that's quite a legal defense in the court system. I am praying for everything to work out. I don't think that's going to, it wouldn't work for me, it wouldn't work for you, I don't think it'll work for the bishop either.
The power of prayer.
Is not so powerful in a court of law. So
let's go down the hot list here. Representative Joe Solomon Jr.
Absolutely. The representative from Warwick Neck down in Warwick passed legislation to create a new license plate, and it looks really awesome. It commemorates Rocky Point, and what's great about this situation is he had local high school students make the design. So we didn't have to subcontract out of state and hire some expensive public relations firm or design firm that makes campaign contributions to politicians. None of that happened. It was high school students. So I think it kind of showcases our talent that we have in our youngsters, and it's a really cool license plate. So just want to give them a little bit of a nod.
I wonder how many license plates does Rhode Island have now?
Oh my God! It seems like there's a license plate for everything, doesn't it? And next, we should have a license plate for Old Lincoln Downs or Dell's Lemonade, or it seems like we're gonna have a license.
We're gonna have a Benny's license plate.
Yeah, the Benny's. I mean, they used to Benny's license plate.
License plate Palooza. One of the things that I had read, I didn't realize this with the license plate, in the fine print, they need to get, I believe, 900 orders for this to actually go to print. So you can put in your order, say you want a Rocky Point license plate if you do, but they need at least 900 people to say that's what they want. So we'll see if they get the critical mass.
Listen, anyone who's 30 or over and a Rhode Island native has a Rocky Point story. Like it might be the place where you went on your first amusement park ride, or went on your first date, or got your first job. So it does deserve a license plate, absolutely.
Okay, that was Joe Solomon Jr. for his role in this.
If the Yankees deserve one, certainly Rocky Point does.
Caramond.
Right?
Oh, I was moving on to my next one. You want me to agree? I let you tell who's hot or not.
You hate the Yankees, though.
That's true.
All right, move on.
Okay.
All right, we're in agreement.
Cara Mund, Brown University graduate.
Absolutely. Miss America, Cara Mund, Brown University graduate. She's from Bismarck, North Dakota. Cool, right? One of our college students is Miss America. But what I really like about Miss Mund is the fact that she has organized fashion shows that have raised tens of thousands of dollars for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So, it's cool to win a beauty pageant, but to give back is really what gets you on the hot list here.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to continue to watch her in her year on the throne. Lee Raposa.
Excuse me. Lee Raposa had an excellent performance here on GoLocal Live. She spoke about the need of all of us to try to reach out and do what we can and kind of be the voice to prevent suicide. And it was really a touching message. And I was at India Point Park last weekend for the seafood festival, and the Be the Voice people had a stand there, and I was talking to them, and some of the stories are really sad and really touching, but it's great to see people who have been impacted by suicide kind of reaching out and trying to do what they can to make sure this doesn't happen in the future. So I thought Ms. Raposa did a great job, so I just wanted to throw her on the hot list and try to give a voice to suicide prevention.
I want to give a shout out to Molly O'Brien for having her on. It was a great segment. And as you mentioned, just talking about it, sort of making sure people are aware of it, and so that if you feel that there might be something off, that you do say something, that you do reach out. So I encourage folks to watch that segment if they didn't have a chance to this week. Rhode Island Libertarian Party and Pat Ford. Yeah,
Pat Ford is a buddy of mine. Threw him on the hot list. I like the video that he created against the Paw Sox proposal. I'm starting to think, as Go Local reported today, that these hearings are a little bit disingenuous. When you let the first 5 hours or 50 people speak and they're all in favor of the stadium, it makes me think that you've kind of rigged the list so as to stack the people that are in favor of it first. So,
do you think you should go back and forth, pro con?
It doesn't have to go like that, but maybe you would think out of everyone that showed up, someone who was con would have got on the list in the first, all those people.
I think Pat Ford might have been the first con, and I think that was around 10 o'clock. Now the hearing started at 6.
Yeah.
And so they let the elected officials go, they let the folks who are supportive go, but we've got 5 more of these.
Right.
Is it just going to be
another dog and pony show after another?
Are we just going to see this repeated 5 times? Or are there going to be any other different nuances or conversations around this? I think the public will be curious to know, but there's 5 of them. I mean, it'll be interesting to see come the 6th, sort of what the tenor and the tone is and who's actually showing up. Yeah, we'll see.
Absolutely.
Okay. Rhode Island Libertarian Party. You have Pinnacle Logistics for the jobs at TF Green.
Absolutely. Another 300 jobs that they plan to create or plan to hire at TF Green Airport. So that's kind of a much-needed boon to the economy, particularly after the losses of the jobs at Benny's and at Alexion Pharmaceuticals. So I definitely think it's a good thing that this is happening, that they're going to locate jobs here. And as I note on the hot or not list, it does seem like the only actual job growth we're really getting is at the airport. It seems like if it wasn't for the airport, we'd be sinking. So it's good that we have a booming airport right now.
Well, we do need jobs all across the spectrum. Obviously, losing Alexion with those sort of high-paying tech jobs.
Right.
This is cargo opportunities at Green, but as we said, across the spectrum, Rhode Islanders do need jobs. And as you pointed out, at TF Green.
At TF Green, yes.
Okay, last on the hot list, how can we not say BIF 2017?
Absolutely. Like you said in the prelude to before I came on here, that a lot of interesting storytellers and great speakers. So absolutely, I wanted to give the Innovation Factory a little
love. Shout out.
A little love, yeah.
Hot. They were certainly hot. Go Local was there, as I mentioned.
Yep.
Yeah, we were just interviewing. Got to interview Saul for his take after day 1. Got to interview a lot of the storytellers. It just has that vibe for people to be there interacting with other folks. It's the second most highly rated innovation conference in the country.
Sure.
And there's a reason for it. Folks tune out for it. It's always sold out, and we were glad to be able to be there and be a media partner with BIF. So hopefully look forward to BIF 2018. Okay, going on to the not hot list.
The fun one.
The fun
All right,
one.
the fun list.
You have the governor on the not hot list.
Yes, the governor is very fond of telling us all that she is a master of economic development and creating jobs. And I think that reputation took quite the hit this last week, as we've been talking about, with the loss of jobs at Benny's as they're closing all their stores by the end of the year. And of course, the abrupt announcement that Alexion Pharmaceuticals is leaving. They haven't been here long either, so
they last year were hatching that big 5-year
right.
plan. And again, you never know what happens behind sort of closed doors at a company, but to have the 1-2 punch, were they connected? No. But to the average person, to see headline one day, see the headline the next day.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, well, what is the growth pattern of jobs here in the state? Again, not
right.
connected, but you have to shake your head and kind of wonder.
And the governor says that she's trying to lure Amazon here to open up like a big office or create a lot of jobs, and I feel like it's a long shot. I mean, it's not a huge win if they put like 1,000 jobs in Boston and we get 10 of them, which, what happened with General Electric. The big jobs with the Boston, we get a few, we get the crumbs.
We get the scraps.
We get the crumbs off the table, what Boston doesn't want. It's not, so I don't understand. I mean, I think the governor is going to have a tough time in the election next year making that argument, that she's a great economic
We're in
governor.
Cycle. And what you just mentioned, again, the demise of Benny's.
How sad, right? Everyone has a Benny's store, the place, just like Rocky Point, right? It's woven into the fabric of Rhode Island. You might buy random hardware, you might get houseware items, someone might get their first bike there, some people like their greeting cards, on and on and on. I remember as a kid going in there and they'd have candy bars for like 33 cents. You
They
get
were
three of
very
them.
cheap.
Yeah, you get 3 of them for $1, and you'd get all hyper, and your mom would, get all upset with me. My mom would get all upset with me. So that's kind of one of my Benny stories, and it's just awful that they're closing. I give the owners, particularly Mr. Bromberg, Arnold Bromberg, a lot of
He
credit.
was here in studio.
That's what I'm leading into, coming and being very forthcoming and very open about the situation at hand. And he just said it's become a tough retail landscape, especially for small mom and pop owned brick and mortar stores, unfortunately. So it's a sad story, and it's awful to see them go.
Okay, next on the not hot list, Peter Kilmartin.
Sure. It's just not a good week in the news when you read that you could find yourself the target of a lawsuit by Max Wistow, much the same way that Keith Stokes, the former Economic Development Corporation director who oversaw the creation of 38 Studios, also did. I'm not saying that I think that the Attorney General will be, but it's not out of the realm of possibility, and that's a bad thing. It's something about these Attorney Generals in their second terms where they kind of have some problems here. With this issue is obviously very troubling for Peter Kilmartin, because it was his office that approved the act, and he thought he had shored up the pension fund, but he clearly didn't. So it's a really sticky wicket, and there's a lot of blame.
Sticky wicket. Do I put you on the spot here, Pawtucket resident? Clearly, there's been a little chatter, term limited, Peter Kilmartin perhaps pursuing higher office. Will he, and can he?
I think not. I don't think he's going to run for governor because, first of all, it would be very tough, at least this year, to run against a sitting Democrat incumbent. Secondly, I don't see him running for Congress because no one's term limited in those seats, obviously. So I just don't see a lot of opportunity there for the governor. For him to run for governor. So I think the Attorney General may just spend more time in Florida.
Okay, let's go down the not hot list.
You didn't laugh.
I was fixated on the next one. More time in Florida. Okay, great. $2.2 billion, the cost of, if in all totality, it would take the cost of schools.
How do we let this happen? How do we need $2.2 billion to fix our schools? Isn't educating our children like one of the most basic and most important jobs or responsibilities of our state and local government? Yet we've let our school buildings fall into disrepair. And oh, by the way, it's not like we have low taxes. If we were like paying low taxes, you'd say, I understand what's going on.
Newsflash.
Yeah, newsflash, we have high taxes. So where is all this money going? I am so frustrated as a Rhode Islander, and I think I speak for so many other Rhode Islanders because I talk to them. How did we let this happen? So it's not hot. There's not one individual person you can point to and say this person's to blame. We're all to blame, except for the people who vote against the people that win all the time. So most of us are to blame. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Russ Moore, 2 more items on the not hot list here.
That was a head scratcher for a second. Yeah, most of us are to blame.
Okay, I followed you.
All right, good.
Okay, on the not hot list you have former presidential candidate Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, Hillary, how can we miss you if you just won't go away? I mean, here's the former presidential candidate, the former Secretary of State, former senator, and she's on a book tour because she likes making money. And look, I don't hold that against her. We all like to make money. But she's taking a modicum of the blame for her disastrously failed candidacy last year. But she's delivering most of the blame to everyone else, which is entirely predictable, and it's discouraging, and it's frustrating, and it's just enough. Just stop, Hillary. Just move on. Retire, please.
I had talked with, when we were at Biff, there was someone from Barnes & Noble who was there talking about the bookstore release, and I guess in Union Square, New York City, people were camped outside to get the book. I mean, there might be something to be said that...
Schadenfreude, maybe? I don't know. Schadenfreude, taking pleasure in someone else's pain.
So, I mean, who knows? Would you camp out overnight just to...
Absolutely not. No, I would never do such a thing.
But, there's one thing to be said, that the president's approval ratings are so low, of historically low levels. Perhaps she saw this window to say,
her approval.
Like,
no, well, you're right. He has historically low approval ratings, but her approval ratings are actually even lower. So the great news, I guess, for all of us is that she said she has told people reportedly that she'll never run for office again. That's bad news for Donald Trump, because that's the one person he wants to run again. Let me fight the person I can beat, So anyway, I think this whole book tour is very much unneeded. So
okay,
not hot.
Not hot, and very last on the not hot list, Jamel Hill.
I love Jamel Hill. I think she's very, very sharp, very good sports commentator, great sports analyst. I want to preface this by saying that. I have a ton of respect for her. I like his and hers. I like her on Sports Center. She was great with Michael Smith. But I just feel like for her to come out and just start tweeting that the president is a white supremacist. I know that he's been insensitive on the issue of race. But to say he's a white supremacist is a big jump. So I feel like she's tarnishing her brand by wading into politics like that. And that, if she feels this way, I don't understand the need to tweet it and distract from her work as a sports reporter, which she's great at.
Do you think it's going to have any impact on her professionally?
No, I do not, because I think that, she made it very clear that these are her own personal sentiments and she's not speaking for her employer. So it shouldn't have any effect on her career. Maybe some people who love Donald Trump, which I am clearly not one of them, will say, oh, I'm not going to watch her anymore. But, so in a way, it could affect her ratings, I guess, but I think this thing is going to blow over.
Okay, not on the list, but one last thing before we let you go. The Patriots this weekend.
They will rebound. They will win this game. It helps that they're playing a team that plays awful defense in the Saints, as opposed to the Chiefs, who play excellent defense. Just one thing about the Patriots. If you don't play your best game, if you come out and you play flat, a good team like the Kansas City Chiefs will beat you. So that being said, I don't think they're going to come out and play flat the way they did on the opening night. And I don't think the Saints are a really good team like I think the Kansas City Chiefs are. So I expect a big turnaround, and I predict, now last week I predicted something and I was right, I predict that come Monday, is it Monday? Yeah, come Monday, we'll be drinking the 87-cent coffees from Dunkin'. That's my prediction.
Do you know the spread? You're a
yes,
gambling guy.
The last I checked last night, the Pats are favored by 6.5 on the road. It's a big spread.
Okay, that is a big spread, on the road especially, too. Stay tuned. Sunday, Monday.
You know something about that, don't you?
What, me know?
Have a good day.
Hey, Russ Moore, GoLocal Contributor. You can read him every Monday on GoLocal Prof. He writes a column, and then on Friday gives us his who's hot, who's not, up and down here in Rhode Island and nationally, and we get him here in the studio to break down just what he's thinking when he puts that list together. So it's never a dull moment when Russ Moore comes into the studio. As always,